Good day, everyone. Welcome to Virtual Concert Hall's live music channel. Thank you for joining us today for the very exciting opening of a long weekend today. And for the next 4 days, we are presenting musicians who are applying for performances with orchestras. Our channel is dedicated to bringing live performances, music events from the international artists on stage to the audiences around the globe. I'm Anna Uspinskaya and I'll be hosting the program today. This is the opening session of presenting ColORCHESTRA Auditions. So we have musicians from many countries auditioning for the opportunity to be featured soloists with orchestras around the world. The goal of these auditions is to encourage, to nurture, and reward musicians who are taking proactive stand on sharing their art, their performances, and on developing their careers. Together, we are providing opportunities for musicians to discover their unique artistic voice, to take initiative, to present themselves on their own terms, to choose their own repertoire, and to carve their own unique career paths. So let's take a look at what is happening in the next 4 days. On the screen, you see the 4 orchestras which joined us for the season of the ColORCHESTRA performances. And these are orchestras from United States, from Czech Republic, from Cairo in Egypt. And last season we had 1 orchestra, Western New York Chamber Orchestra. And this season our reach has grown and we have more orchestras and more conductors joining us. Right now on the screen you see the schedule of the sessions coming up, and the conductors and the orchestras are featured on this screen which you see, and the musicians who will be auditioning and performing their concertos during those sessions. You can see their pictures in there, and you can read their bios and some more information about who are the contenders and candidates for those concerts. The concerts will be held at the beautiful home concert halls of those marvelous, wonderful orchestras, and the dates are all posted. Those concerts will be broadcast as well. So if you are watching these auditions and you're cheering and rooting for a musician, and your favorite musician makes it to be the featured soloist, keep watching the announcements. You will hear their performance with those wonderful orchestras. Now, the ColORCHESTRA auditions are organized by many organizations and wonderful people who put their hands together and their efforts in order for this to happen. Now on the screen you see the logos of companies and organizations which join us in those efforts, and I would like to name a few: ArtistVenture, Sound Espressivo, Progressive Musicians, Virtual Concert Halls, in collaboration with Western New York Chamber Orchestra, Bohuslav Martinu Philharmonic, Cairo Opera Orchestra, Boulder Symphony Orchestra, and with a great support from many organizations. Those are platforms which provide music education. Those are music channels, music managers, music publishers, and so on. I can't even start naming all the organizations out there, but we are very grateful for this enormous wave of energy and support. So auditionees from many countries are seeking this opportunity to present their performances with those orchestras. As judges will be joining us live as well. And after each performance, you will hear the comments from our judges, the comments are aimed to help musicians keep improving, help musicians keep honing and sharpening their skill and their art, and present it on various stages, including the stage which we introduce with our work, which is the virtual concert hall stage. So let's say a few words about the primary organizers of these events. The Sound Espressivo Global Competition is an online live streamed competition. It's an organization which combines competitive environment and live performance experience. And yes, we are promoting and encouraging everyone to try out virtual stage. It's developing, it's getting more present in new music environment, and learning how to use it and how to use it to the best of its ability may not be a bad idea for many people. Progressive Musicians is an organizer of many various events, competitions, and especially concerts at various venues, including concerts at the Carnegie Hall. Virtual Concert Halls is an internet TV broadcasting company, and we're focused on providing artists with virtual stage and with ability to reach audiences beyond brick and mortar walls of the conventional hall, and we provide all kinds of services to help musicians on board in that venture if they are interested. ArtistVenture is an organization focused on providing performance opportunities in various venues for musicians in Europe, Asia, and beyond. ArtistVenture organizes tours in various countries, in prestigious concert halls, organizes festivals, masterclasses, seminars for musicians.
No matter where you are or who you are, music connects us all. We started with a dream, but now we are paving the future. Welcome to the Sound Espressivo Global Competition. Fully virtual, yet bringing musicians closer together than ever before, now on a global scale. True live, inclusivity, diversity, connection, community, an extraordinary array of judges. Get noticed by companies all over the world. Prizes, scholarships, performance opportunities. Apply to be a part of the most exciting congregation of artists like nothing you've ever seen before. We guarantee quality and leave no musician behind. We can't wait to hear you on the virtual stage.
In addition to potentially winning the opportunity to be featured soloist with those wonderful orchestras and some of the most prominent conductors in the world, the musicians this season are also being selected to receive season awards. These awards are designed to encourage and to help musicians further their careers. For example, you see on the screen the award which is sponsored by Cicerone Music and Arts, and that award provides recording, mastering, publishing, and distribution of an album, a recorded album, the audio album. And we have Adler Oaks Music Awards, and those are cash awards for the winners of the audience favorite award. We have awards of performance opportunities. We have awards of sponsored participation in various festivals and in different countries for pianists, for singers, for instrumentalists. Those season awards are an ongoing program, and everyone who enters these auditions or competitions throughout the season is eligible, and judges recommend musicians for awarding of those opportunities, and then the companies which are sponsoring and providing those awards will be making the decision at the end of the season. These are awards for the next season, but people who are selected this season for the next season, it's kind of long-term planning, which is normal for our field. You win something this season, but you get to do it in the next season. And now I would like to introduce our fantastic judges. Thank you, wonderful judges, for joining us. And today we'll have Gevorg Sargsyan and Joanna Moffett. And in the next sessions, we will also have Lisa Lyman, Dikran Atamian, Nicole Zenz, and James Francisco joining us. These are wonderful musicians, some representing the orchestras, the conductors, musicians from the orchestras, international pianists. And for today's session, we have Gevorg Sargsyan, hailed as one of the most inspiring artists of his generation. Gevorg Sargsyan is a conductor based in Singapore and a music director from Armenia originally. He is a recipient of George Schulte Award, and he's been guest conducting in various venues all over the world, many orchestras. He is a director of Medicine Academy of Music and the Strings Orchestra, and he's currently artistic director of Music Hubs with Ministry of Culture, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and he is the conductor of the concert in Zlin in Czech Republic for the Bohuslav Martinu Symphony Orchestra. So you'll hear comments from the music director and the conductor of the orchestra himself. Joanna Moffett, Gevorg, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, and thank you for such a generous introduction. I am very excited to hear and see the people who will be auditioning today, and looking forward for a very interesting evening in my time zone.
Yeah, it's early morning for me. We are not on the same scale. And today we also have Joanna Moffett, soprano, teacher and founder of Core Productions. She is located in Chicago. And she's making a big splash across Chicago art scene and internationally. Her repertoire is encompassing very vast and diverse repertoire from Puccini to Mozart, and her voice was hailed as brilliant and chivalry, and it shines in many roles. She's also a producer of many events and she's a promoter of new music and many opera productions in unconventional scenes. Welcome, Joanna. Great to have you with us.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much, Anna. It's such an honor to get to see your beautiful, shiny faces and to get to help make some decisions this morning.
Wonderful.
I'm excited to get jumping in.
Wonderful. Thank you. Well, okay, let me ask the judges, are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I think we have our first performer ready, and this will be Itai Hazan, clarinetist from Israel, and he'll be performing the first movement of Bernhard Grissel Clarinet Concerto Number 2. Itai, welcome. You're the first performer in our first session of this very long auditions. We have 15 sessions planned. Welcome on stage. It's all yours. What a wonderful opening for our concert. You woke me up. Okay, passing baton to the judges.
Gavork, you're on mute.
It looks like it's been passed to me. Well, thank you for this. And before we even start talking about it, let me also acknowledge a very, very supportive collaborative pianist. I could hear the whole orchestra. And thank you for starting not from the very, 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 very beginning. Because you obviously know the music very well, and you're not just playing the notes, you are definitely living it through, and you have a story to say. This is important, and this is very inspiring to hear. I particularly like that part when you did it. Was it dolce there then, where you had the change between keys? I think you in your key it was changed to one sharp, right? Did you change to E
Yeah.
minor? Oh my God, that Dolce was beautiful. In many ways, this is a very solid performance. If I can point out something, it's more like your artistic presence, your stage presence, your attention to engaging the audience. I guess that will be something that you can also think about, because you are at the level that these are discussions that we can have already. We are not talking anymore about why this note and why that legato and this articulation. This is a very solid performance, and I like it. I like it in many, many ways. So yeah, passing on to Joanna, maybe. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Ite, it's so wonderful to see you again and to hear you play. I can tell how much you've grown in this last year since I've heard you play. What a complex and beautiful piece, and I'm so grateful that you shared with us. For me, it's this morning, but for you, I guess it's this evening. Um, yeah, I actually was thinking along the same lines as Gevorg. Your musicality is so spectacular. I would love for your uh, energy on stage to shine out in the same way. Uh, if you think about not just the music having energy to it, but also your physicality, your presence on stage, it will give the audience more permission to go on that journey with you, to join you, to feel like part of your music. And I think that that would be the next level for you. I think you are spectacular, and I love listening to you play. So let's take it to the next level.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Well, first of all, Itai, do you have any questions? Would you like to ask the judges any opinion, anything specific?
No, thank you very much. I think I got very good advice. Then I will try to channel it into my performance.
Okay, wonderful. From me, I want to say I absolutely love your singing tone on the clarinet, on the long notes. That is rare, and it's such a difficult skill to attain. Your notes live. Oftentimes the note just stays there, but you live through the long notes, and that's just so wonderful to hear. Thank you so much. This was our fabulous opening with Itai Hazan from Israel with a clarinet concerto by Bernard Crusel. Thank you, Itai, for opening our long marathon of auditions with this beautiful playing. We will be transitioning and inviting on stage Madeline Stiskal. She's a pianist from the United States, performing Scriabin Piano Concerto in F sharp minor, Opus 20, second movement Andante. Madeline, stage is all yours. Enjoy. wonderful, Madeline. That's a rare piece to hear on stages, and I love this Craven Concerto. Thank you for bringing it for today's auditions. So we go to the judges.
Is it me? Hi, Marlene. Thank you for this wonderful redemption. Look, Marlene, I'm not a pianist myself as a conductor, so my comments will be purely based on non on a pianistic manner. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is one of the best examples of Scriabin music where orchestra and soloist agree to disagree, if you know what I mean. And when your collaborative pianist started the orchestra part, for a moment I thought it's a bit too slow, but then I remember what is coming up, and when you interfere with that disagreement, but so gracefully and so nice, that was goosebumps all over. Scriabin is very difficult composer, obviously, and he's more than a composer. I'm sure you know that. So to dive deep into his rather dark soul, on the dark side of his chord progressions and all that, is quite a thing. So I think you really showcase that whole feeling. So thank you for that. On overall thing, if you want me to comment on overall, obviously you need to play all three movements for it to have a context of interpretation. And just with Andante as a separate piece itself, it's very hard to comment overall. But in terms of the piece that you played, it was really nice, and thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Madeline, and hi, Ben. I loved the world that you created in your playing. It was so warm and beautiful. And it's really clear to me that you have an idea of what your soundscape is for yourself. But it wasn't always clear how you felt about how you fit in with the orchestra. And I would love to challenge you to think about the sound on a larger level, going from your beautiful interpretation to how that can fit within the soundscape of what you're hearing around you. Yeah, that's it. Like I love your playing. It's so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you so much for the kind feedback.
Thank you very much. And I would like to acknowledge your fabulous collaborative pianist,
Absolutely.
Ben Batalo. Thank you so much, and bravo for wonderful, wonderful support of your soloist. This was a great ensemble. I'm not a judge for these auditions, Madeline, but it looks like I'm the only pianist right now. So, it's pianist to pianist. I just want to share a couple of comments, and hopefully they'll be helpful to you. I want to just mention that Scriabin's music is so rhythmically complex, and it has so many linear rhythmical lines, polyrhythmical lines going on in your part itself, and then juxtaposed to the orchestral part. And at the same time, it's so free that it really is a great call for a lot of rubato. So keeping the balance between the rubato and delivering the written in rubato, because Scriabin really was striving to express his own idea of the rubato, his own sense of the rubato for each phrase through this really, really detailed rhythmical expression on the notes. So as a pianist, I've played this concerto a number of times, and it always was one of the biggest challenges, in addition to the tonality and to sonority realm and the pedaling in there. It's just everything is challenging. But in addition to that, I keep reminding myself to always go back to the actual score and really try to sharpen and understand what rhythmical content Scriabin put in there, and then take it from there. And it's like always go back to the seed of where the rhythm is on the page, and then expand it to adding the rubato where it's possible to add it. And I find myself, the more I do that, the less I need to add, because Scriabin really did express a lot of rubato in there, and that opens up the possibility for delving into more sonorities and colors. So that's just my pianist opinion, which matters nothing for the judges' decisions, so don't worry about it at all. And if you don't like it, just toss it. This was fabulous, fabulous performance, and thank you both, wonderful pianists, for bringing this piece. This is one of my favorite pieces of piano literature with orchestra. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Do you have any questions, Madeline?
No questions on my end.
Okay. And then we will say goodbye to Madeline, and thank you again for a beautiful performance of Scriabin's Andante from Piano Concerto in F sharp minor. And we'll be inviting on stage Michael McAvoy, baritone from the United States, with Handel's Revenge, Timotheus Cries from Alexander's Feast. Thank you so much for joining us for these auditions. The stage is all yours.
Scheimut Kreis. Revenge, Scheimut Kreis. Revenge, 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 Scheimut Kreis. Revenge, Scheimut Kreis. See the furies arise. See the snakes as they rear, how they hiss in the air, and the sparkles that flash in their eyes, and the sparkles that flash in their eyes. Revenge, Scheimut Kreis, revenge, Scheimut Kreis, revenge, 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 revenge. See the furies arise, see the snakes that they rear, how they hiss in the air, and the sparkles that flash, and the sparkles that flash in their eyes. Behold a ghastly band, a ghastly band, each a torch in his hand, each a torch in his hand. These are Grecian ghosts that in battle were slain and unburied remain in glorious Anna plain. In glorious Anna plain. These are Grecian ghosts that in battle were slain and unburied remain. on glorious remain, and in glorious remain, in glorious on the plain. Revenge, revenge, revenge time of yes Christ. Revenge time of yes Christ. Revenge, revenge, revenge time of yes Christ. Revenge time of yes Christ. See the furies arise. See the snakes as they rear, how they hiss in the air, and the sparkles that flash in their eyes, and the sparkles that flash in their eyes. Revenge time of yes Christ, revenge time of yes Christ, revenge, 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 revenge. See the furies arise, see the snakes that they rear, how they hiss in the air, and the sparkles that flash, and the sparkles that flash in their eyes.
Bravo! Wow, what a voice! What wonderful! You had me glued to this performance. Okay, passing the baton, judges, please.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you very much. It was rather rare piece to hear. This when I look at the scores, I was like, this is going to be a full range of bass baritone abilities. I guess that's one of the reasons behind the decision to audition with this piece, isn't it? Because it's critically difficult. I mean, there are certain things, not least the language even, because as much as English is our language, it's not the best language for singing sometimes, and I can see the challenges that comes with it with a hand. Plus, of course, the whole idea of this is being written in 17th century, and you are singing in the 21st. There are obvious difficulties that comes with it, with stylistic and linguistic things as well. But I guess what you did really well is that the piece is written to convince the king to drink, right? I guess that part was very well manifested, where you projected that desire for praising the god, praising him as a god, and all that, not only through the words but also through music. And I guess this is one of the achievements that I can very clearly see. From the vocal perspective, I don't want to really comment much because it's still online after all, and there is some echo that is possible to have. In my personal opinion, the slow part was a bit too slow for you. So what is it, largo? I think
Yes, yeah.
the largo was a little bit towards grave, and it was manifesting in your voice in a way. But that was another challenge that you tackled well, actually. So yeah, thank you, and I'll pass it to a vocal specialist, Joanna.
Good morning, Mike. Well, I don't know if it's morning for you. Thank you
Yes.
so much for bringing such a wonderful and wild piece. In morning, okay. Good morning. Um, I. It's so clear how carefully you have prepared this, and how the runs were just like spot on, like just everything, your intonation, everything, just like amazing. And I think that that's often a singer's challenge in singing Handel, is like, it's just okay. Now I have to sing this perfectly in tune and also super fast, and also. Um, I would challenge you to bring two things to your performance. I know this is very modern thinking, but a through line through your runs, so that we hear a direction that they're going to, because it was so precise. Sometimes I lost a little bit of the legato as you're going through the runs. Then second, I like the concept of the B section shifting something for the character. So whatever the B section is bringing to you emotionally, I mean, you were acting really well. That's not, this is like high level stuff. Whatever that B section is bringing to you emotionally, bring it into the repeat. Like whatever that feels like for you, allow it to shift your character's perspective a little bit, either reinforce how they're feeling in the A section, or make them question what they've stated. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes, okay. I sorry. Say that again.
Oh, I just said,
Okay.
yes. Yeah, I understood that.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. And then I just, your final your final ending cadenza, I wanted it just to take a little bit more time. I know that's also not
No, that's okay.
maybe stylistic, but I wanted to feel that finality with you, and so I think if you take just a hair longer, it's gonna make it really feel done. And I disagree with Gevorg. I loved how long, I loved how slow the B section was. It's okay, Gevorg. I promise I won't sing this for you. Thank you, Michael. I really appreciate it. And thanks to your pianist for their incredible support. Yeah.
Yeah, let's give it a round of applause to the pianist. Wonderful. Thank you so much for your great support and for your wonderful performance. Michael, would you like to discuss anything or ask any questions?
I don't think I have any questions right now, but thank you. That was great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Amazing.
both of you. Yeah, bravo. Wonderful performance.
Bravo.
And from me, I want to say that those runs, of course, as a vocalist, Joanna will have much more to say what can be done with them. But to me, they sounded perfect. Like nothing else can be done to them. Because I worked with a vocalist, of course, as a pianist, as a collaborative pianist. And those runs are always like, is my soloist going to survive them? But you sounded so fluid. Like it's part of it, just natural speaking for you. I was just floored by that. Thank you so much, Michael, for this extraordinary preparation.
I know you.
Ari is like impossible.
It's like you woke up and like it just. Oh, I was gonna say it's like you just woke up and sang it, no problem. Like,
that's right, at 9 a.m.
a.m.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank
you, Michael.
Thank you.
Bravo.
Bravo. And while we say goodbye to Michael McAvoy and his wonderful pianist, they were performing the Handel aria from Alexander Feast, and we'll be inviting on stage our next performer and the last musician to present in this first session, Ben Batala, pianist from the United States. He will be performing Rachmaninoff Concerto Number 3 in D minor, Opus 30, first movement, Allegro ma non tanto. Welcome, Ben. The stage is yours. wonderful way to conclude our very first session, Ben. Thank you for bringing this mammoth, monumental piece to this performance. I'm passing on the baton.
Man, that's really nice. I kind of it skipped my mind that when you were playing with Madeline, you will be also playing Rachmaninoff, and I was like, who is this piano? Who is this collaborative pianist? So you both are a very good match. When I what I want to say is that no matter how many times in my life I heard, conducted, and interacted with this concerto, it never stops to amaze and surprise me. And I think this was one of those things. To be honest, it's the first time that I'm hearing this concerto with a piano accompaniment of the piano. I mean, I probably heard some snippets here and there, but like the full first movement being with a collaborative pianist is the first time. And I hear so many new colors that with orchestra are there, but different. They have different shapes and colors. What I wanted to compliment, obviously you and Madeline as well, is that synergy between the two pianos in this case. When I commented that Madeline and you, when she was playing Scriabin, you agree to disagree. Here, I think the agreement was total. There was a complete agreement, and the colors were very, very. How do I put it? Not sharp, but they were warm across the whole thing. This concerto is played and performed and heard and listened so many times. It's really difficult to find new interpretation genres, but you actually found some, and I can tell there were some, certain articulations that I heard they were kind of new to me. Some melody lines and some middle lines as well that I really appreciate and like your invention. Again, because I'm not a pianist, let me not comment into technical aspects of it, but as a conductor, I think this is a very solid piece. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, Ben, it's so amazing to hear you play. I agree. It was a very warm, world to live in, and I found myself transported and not thinking so much about what I could say to help shape this piece for you, but really just listening and living in that world with you, and that's always spectacular. I could listen to you play for hours. I really enjoyed, in particular, how I was listening for the next thing. Like every time you would come to the end of something, it felt like you were leading us to the next section or the next phrase, and that for me was really what made it special. I just every once in a while, I saw your brain switch to thinking about technical issues, and I would love to, even in those moments, to continue to feel the connection to the warmth and the whatever the world means to you of this piece. Continue feeling that through those like minute sections where you're thinking, okay, I gotta do this next, but bravo, like spectacular, and to both of you, that it really was a collaborative effort. It was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's interesting, Gianna, you pointed out the pianist switching the focus to the technical. This is an absolutely acrobatic piece.
No kidding.
You gotta stay on the tightrope and not fall off. At least every once in a while. So, and Ben, this is phenomenal. I mean, to me, it's maybe one of, but I would say probably the hardest piano concerto written. There's not one spot in there where things can, where you can relax and just go like, okay, wonderful. I've immersed myself in music. Nothing is going to happen. Well, something is going to happen. And your preparation was absolutely spectacular for this piece. It's an extraordinary achievement to even learn the thing. And as a pianist to pianist, I want to really praise you for variety of articulation in there. It's so many notes that it's so tempting to just let go and say, okay, I gotta focus on something and let go of the fringe things. But in Rachmaninoff and in his own playing, articulation is vital, and you really paid great attention to that, and I loved that. To me, just to me personally, I understand why the choice of tempos. You really were very convincing in that choice of tempos. Some of them were strikingly, just like Georg pointed out. You really found very different expression in the beginning with that much reduced slower tempo. That really sounded very interesting. You'll have a work to do with the conductor who you will be performing it with to convince the orchestra to support it. But I think it's very worthwhile because you have a definitive, very convincing approach to that tempo, especially in the opening of the concerto. That was really something which drew my attention immediately. So, but thank you so much. Ben, do you have any questions? Would you like to share any comments on something? Please feel free to interact with the judges.
I don't have any questions, but just thank you for the opportunity. This is a piece of mine for a long time, so it's a privilege to get it on stage, even virtually. Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Thanks to you.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Ben and Madeline, for this wonderful two-piano rendition of the Rachmaninoff concerto. You're right, we don't really hear it a lot. Maybe partially because the collaborative pianist just doesn't want to learn it. It's just so hard.
It's really hard.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll be saying goodbye to Ben and his wonderful collaborative pianist, Madeline. This concludes our first session of the long marathon. We have 14 sessions scheduled over this weekend, and I want to bring on the stage again our wonderful judges. Thank you, Georg. Thank you, Joanna, for your time, for your invaluable input, for being with us in different time zones, and for supporting musicians on this very difficult endeavor, applying to be featured as soloists with these orchestras.
Thank you.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
And we'll be seeing a lot more of you in the sessions coming. So with that, we'll say goodbye to our wonderful judges for a moment. And I would like to bring on stage and introduce one of our co-hosts for these sessions. I'm sure you don't expect me to be talking for like 15 hours today and tomorrow and Sunday and Monday. So we have more people who will be joining us. And it's I would like to invite on stage Chris Au. He's our regular co-host. Chris, thank you for joining us, and a great pleasure to be
I'm sure everyone
with you.
would be pleased to have you host all the shows, but
I don't want to be
impossible.
bubblehead here.
That would be impossible for you. You'd be exhausted. It's a wonderful
Yes,
session. We had some good music, really good music.
Wonderful, and thank you. Great to have you, Chris, supporting us and passing a bit of a baton of hosting to you. Let's take a quick look at what else is happening. These auditions are mammoth, and of course, all eyes on the musicians on these auditions. But our season is packed, and we have a lot more to offer and coming up. Okay, first of all, I want to thank the 4 marvelous orchestras which joined us for the ColORCHESTRA auditions this season, and their music directors and conductors, and thank you so much for your wonderful support, for providing and supporting those opportunities for soloists to audition and to be selected as featured performers in your concerts. And you see those orchestras perform also in absolutely magnificent venues.
Yeah, this is really quite a pleasure to have. This is when we had the season, I was really looking forward to all these amazing orchestras. And as you can see on the screen, there are many sessions of different instruments, but also the orchestras switch, right? Sometimes it's for the Western New York Chamber Orchestra, and sometimes it's the Philharmonic Bohuslav Martinu, which is where the artistic director is Georg. So it's really wonderful to have these different orchestras, and what a cool thing to have.
Yeah, and each orchestra has its own theme, its own composition, and their own requirements and wishes, which they put out for the repertoire choices, and even the size of the orchestras are different. So again, we have the orchestra in the Czech Republic, Bohuslav Martinu Philharmonic, which will be directed by Georg Sargsyan, and he was joining us for this session as a judge, and he will be with us in the next sessions. And we have Western New York Chamber Orchestra, and we'll have representatives from that orchestra and from the Musicians Union joining us, and musicians from the orchestra as well, and their music and their director of the orchestra will be joining us.
And not to forget that next weekend we'll be doing the ColORCHESTRA auditions for an orchestra in Egypt, the Cairo Opera Orchestra, which is very exciting as well. And each orchestra has their own different repertoire and programmatic demands or requests, I should say.
That's right.
And that's also a really interesting way for everybody musicians to interact with an orchestra and to get to know different orchestras around the world and artistic directors and how they conduct their business and get to know more connections all over the world.
Exactly, and further down later in the season, we'll have auditions for the Boulder Symphony for the 24-25 season concert, and more projects for which musicians can audition to collaborate with orchestras, which is in itself a tremendous opportunity. I love playing with orchestras. So, but there's also more coming up, and we have coming up in just a few weeks. We'll have the deadline approaching us for more auditions to perform at the Wilder Seidel Hall at the Carnegie Hall, and those performances are coming up in April and July, and we'll be also auditioning musicians for the 24-25 season. Those concerts are recorded at the Carnegie Hall. They include also interviews for media and lots of other opportunities for musicians to not only perform but also to promote themselves and to advance their careers. And the deadline for those auditions are just in a few weeks. Please check our websites and make sure you don't miss that opportunity if you feel ready for the Carnegie Hall. Yeah, and we have a short trailer.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Let's see it.
Hey, check this out. I know you have always dreamed of performing in Carnegie Hall. So I think this 2023 to 2024 season at Sound Espressivo would be perfect for you. As a platform, we host live online auditions so you can share your music with the entire world. Then we send you to incredible in-person venues like Carnegie Hall so you can perform solo, as a duo, as an ensemble, and with orchestra. This year we have a total of 4 gala events at Carnegie Hall, as well as 4 different opportunities to perform with orchestras in the US, in the Czech Republic, and even in Egypt. We want to help you fulfill your musical dreams. Go to soundespressivocompetition.com to check out our season and to apply.
There you go. So you don't need any more encouragement. I actually performed in Carnegie last year in November as part of this amazing season that you've organized, Dr. Anna. And I can say that not only is the organization fantastic, but also the opportunity to play in such a wonderful hall and to have a great audience there, to really feel like what it's like to perform in New York. And of course, New York is such a wonderful city to be in, but to be a part of the artistic and the musical life, just briefly, is such a joy. So I encourage everybody, musicians, to really look into these, and we can find all our wonderful websites for more information at soundespressivocompetition.com. We also have progressivemusicians.com, and for this current season, we have ColORCHESTRA.com as well. So check us out. It's going to be really wonderful, and I look forward to hearing more performances by everybody.
Yeah, there's so many different dates. So if you're busy on one date, pick another. It's a season filled with events. Yeah, exactly. Well, there are also season awards, which I would like to mention. Everyone who participates in these auditions and competitions is entered in the pool of candidates for those awards. Some are designed for professional musicians, more like the opportunity to record, master, and publish and distribute an album, which is sponsored by Cicerone Music and Arts. Some more opportunities to perform some cash awards, which invite musicians to engage with their own support groups, and audience gets an opportunity to also vote for their favorite artist. There are also sponsorships which support musicians to attend various events, festivals in the summer and in different times of the year, and participate in tours and performances in different countries. So check this out. If you don't have to apply to all of the auditions in order to be entered in the pool of candidates. Even just once, if you apply for one of them, you're automatically in that pool, and judges provide recommendations, and then the sponsoring companies make the final decisions, which will be announced at the end of the season.
Yeah, these are really wonderful awards that are on top of the performance awards that we have. And if you check us out at the websites, you'll find that there's a lot more to what they offer than just like an album, for example, or an opportunity to play in a masterclass. And there's a lot of different opportunities that are in collaboration with us at virtual concert halls. And I think it's really wonderful. It's not just, even from the beginning when I was one of the winners of the Sound Espressivo competition in 2020, it wasn't just the award of winning. It was also all these different opportunities to perform, all these collaborations and connections to make with different musicians all over the world. And I think that's a huge part of the music career. It's not just the one performance. It's what's next. What else is there? What else can I contribute? What else can I do and make happen? So
absolutely, and that's the whole point of creating a more diverse pool of awards and opportunities, because winning one concert is fabulous, but what's after that? We are all looking for continuity and networking and meeting musicians and finding like-minded people, finding collaborators is a work for not just the career, but for the good life of an artist, because we draw so much from collaborating with each other. So we'd like to encourage everyone, please don't be shy. Get in touch with us, get in touch with judges, get in touch with the orchestras. This is basically almost like a fair for musicians, so that we can showcase our skills and our art, and not only we can find more collaborators and more people to work with.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we are, in addition to all the events, we are also producing music films. And if you have not yet seen our season, we are in the middle of a very long journey presenting Magnificent Nine. Those are the films dedicated to Beethoven symphonies, and we would like to encourage everyone and invite you to check this out. You might find this interesting and inspiring. Those are narrations by Lawrence Rapchak, and with the music on a license from Noxus. Great performances of those symphonies, and with a visualization which was created by Virtual Concert Hall's team. And I would like to just give you a quick peek preview of what those programs are like.
It is terse, it is compact. Its dynamic energy is concentrated into a mere 9.5 minutes of music, the shortest opening movement of Beethoven's 9 symphonies. And it's all the more stunning because of the bold, unprecedented way in which it begins. Known to practically every living being on Earth. It's that powerful.
Yes, and if you ever visited Chicago and if you were privileged to attend the Chicago Symphony Orchestra concerts, then you've heard that voice from stage of Lawrence Rapchak, who's done a lot of pre-concert lecturing for the Chicago Symphony. But if you didn't live in Chicago, you didn't get a chance to be entranced and totally by this totally magical lecturing which Lawrence Rapchak is able to provide. And now this is available to anyone and everyone through the those films which were created. And so with this, I would like to thank everyone who performed today, and I would like to also thank our partners and collaborators. There's so many people and so many wonderful organizations which are joining our effort. It takes an enormous village, I would say town, maybe country, maybe the whole world, to create the field in which musicians can thrive and can really deliver their best to our audiences. Thank you, everyone. We stream on many, many platforms simultaneously. 50 plus channels right now are live and showcasing musicians. It's all the standard ones, and we are on many platforms in different countries which are dedicated to music, musicians, and music education. And many, many thanks go to our fabulous team at virtual concert halls. Our team is growing, and get to know our people. If you were on the green rooms, the backstage, you met many of our wonderful people. These are musicians who also support other musicians and help everyone to be comfortable on the virtual stage and to be presented in the best possible way, representing their artistry. Thank you, fabulous team. Thank you, wonderful directors of today's show. Thank you for all the hard work and all the love you extend to everyone in the music business. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye for now, and we'll see you in a short couple of hours in the session 2. More great music to come.